God's blessings to everyone. This is a DGHradio.com news and information news update for the United States Virgin Islands, and I'm reporter DKS reporting the news for Thursday, September 18th, 2025, covering the latest developments from across the United States Virgin Islands. Community and government finances. Officials are bracing for a sharp rise in the cost of employee health coverage in the coming budget year. Projections point to total spending reaching roughly $226 million, up markedly from 6 years ago. Leaders are weighing whether to shift from a fully insured model to self-funding with third-party administration. Supporters say closer oversight could trim long-term costs. Skeptics warn about exposure to large, unpredictable claims. A technical team is studying safeguards and stop-loss options so any transition protects employees, retirees, and taxpayers. Thought-provoking questions. Beyond changing funding models, what other strategies, such as care navigation and preventive wellness, could slow cost growth? How might any change affect recruiting and retention in critical public service roles? Budget and labor. The legislature's spending plan for the new fiscal year is advancing to a final vote, with senators juggling agency needs, debt service, and capital projects. At the same time, a police pay dispute is back in focus, with officers pressing for adjustments while finance officials caution that earlier wage hikes created continuing obligations. Why this matters. Sustainable budgeting determines whether classrooms are repaired, patrols are staffed, and vendor bills get paid on time. Thought-provoking questions. Should raises be paired with measurable service improvements like faster response times? What non-salary supports, housing stipends, or childcare would best retain experienced officers? Public safety and justice. 2 months after a police-involved shooting on St. Croix, relatives of the 48-year-old man who died say they have received little communication as the internal review proceeds. Advocates are urging predictable family briefings and timely public status updates without compromising the investigation. Separately, airport security stopped a traveler after nearly 1 kilogram of marijuana was allegedly found in luggage. And in another case, Transportation Security Administration screening flagged a handgun in a carry-on bag at Cyril E. King Airport, leading to an arrest. Finally, the Virgin Islands Police Department is asking for help locating 68-year-old Michael Emanuel of Frederiksted, last seen on Tuesday, September 16th. If you have information, please contact 911. Thought-provoking questions. Would a public dashboard for critical incident reviews improve trust? Do airports need clearer signage to reduce contraband incidents? Should policy set guaranteed timelines for family updates after major incidents? Power and infrastructure. After an overnight stretch of rotating outages on St. Thomas, the utility restored stability by returning a 20-megawatt unit to service. The governing board has also approved the purchase of 4 modern engines for the Randolph-Harley Power Plant, dual-fuel capable and more efficient to improve reliability and reduce fuel costs over time. Still, aging distribution equipment and limited reserves keep the grid vulnerable. Meanwhile, Christiansted roads are slated for reconstruction under a new federal grant that targets milling, repaving, drainage, and safety upgrades. Why this matters: dependable electricity and safe roads are the backbone of daily life, commerce, and emergency response. Thought-provoking questions. What parallel investments in poles, lines, and substations should match the new generation? How can agencies coordinate roadwork with utilities to avoid tearing up freshly paved streets? Economy, tourism, and community. The government has finalized the purchase of the former refinery site on St. Croix for $62.5 million, bringing the property into public ownership to steer redevelopment. Ideas on the table include a multi-purpose industrial zone, modern port uses, and renewable energy projects, paired with environmental cleanup. The Port Authority's cruise schedules point to a busy winter and steadier summer calls, which could stabilize small business revenues if crowd management and environmental safeguards keep pace. At Cyril E. King Airport, a major terminal modernization is planned with new jet bridges, expanded gate areas, upgraded baggage systems, and phased construction to limit disruption. Why this matters. Smart infrastructure and visitor flow sustain jobs while protecting neighborhoods and natural resources. Thought-provoking questions. How do we capture more local spending per visitor without overwhelming historic districts? What sustainability standards should be baked into airport and harbor projects, food, agriculture, and environment? A local nonprofit that supports growers is regrouping after a steep reduction in federal funding, pledging to keep training and technical assistance going through new partnerships and grants. Farmers on St. Croix warned that invasive green iguanas are devastating crops, urging a coordinated island-wide population control plan that balances ecology and food security. Fishermen are pushing back on proposed parrotfish catch limits, citing livelihood concerns, while scientists emphasize the species' vital role in protecting coral reefs. On the culinary front, top chefs return to Ridge to Reef Farm for a farm-to-table cook-off that spotlights the link between restaurants and local producers. Thought-provoking questions. Could market solutions, such as creating demand for iguana meat, aid population control? Is there a middle ground on parrotfish that protects reefs while sustaining fishermen? What policies would make local produce more affordable while keeping farms viable? Health, education, and youth. Health officials have confirmed the arrival of dengue serotype 3 on St. Croix. Residents are urged to fight the bite by eliminating standing water, using Environmental Protection Agency registered repellents, and seeking care for high fever, severe headache, pain behind the eyes, joint and muscle aches, fatigue, or rash. In education, a bill to require climate change instruction across grades has cleared its first Senate hurdle, aiming to build resilience and career pathways in renewable energy and conservation. The University of the Virgin Islands is moving forward on plans for a medical school on St. Croix, with site control, design work, accreditation steps, and fundraising underway to address physician shortages and grow the health economy. The administration has also launched the VI Works program to connect young people with training, apprenticeships, and jobs in sectors from hospitality and marine services to technology and sustainable agriculture. Thought-provoking questions. How can schools embed hands-on climate and wellness projects, gardens, coastal monitoring, mental health literacy into everyday learning? What incentives would keep new doctors practicing here at home? How will the Youth Jobs Program measure success beyond first placements, beaches, parks, and governance? The board that oversees a beloved public beach park on St. Thomas expects to fill a vacant seat by month's end. Priorities include swimmer safety zones, managing invasive seaweed, and balancing marine traffic with conservation. The board's volunteer structure and long-standing public access mission remain central as usage grows. Thought-provoking questions. How can community input be more meaningfully built into stewardship decisions? Could updated rules better protect the area from overuse while preserving access? Consumer protection. Regulators are warning residents about a deceptive online gambling promotion that misuses official logos and offers bogus sign-up bonuses. Online wagering is not authorized here. Do not share personal or payment information in response to social media ads. Report suspicious posts, monitor accounts if you engaged, and file complaints so investigators can act. Thought-provoking questions. Should the territory maintain an easily searchable registry of legitimate public notices to help residents spot fakes? What penalties should apply to repeat digital scammers targeting small communities? Maritime safety. Coast Guard crews conducted a life-saving medical evacuation for a cruise passenger off St. John, coordinating a smooth transfer to shore and onward hospital care. It is a reminder that trained responders, clear communications, and calm seas can make the difference in an emergency at sea. Tropical outlook. Forecasters are tracking Tropical Storm Gabrielle in the open Atlantic with sustained winds around 50 miles per hour and a general northward motion, along with two weaker tropical waves near Africa facing dry air. No immediate local threats are indicated, but the peak season demands readiness. Review plans, monitor official updates, and ensure supplies are in order. Thought-provoking questions. How do environmental factors shape storm development near our region? What household preparations are most often overlooked? These and other issues are of great concern within the islands. What do you think are some good solutions? Let us know your thoughts by texting your comments to 1-315-898-1449. You can also join our WhatsApp group and get the news, weather, and other insightful information delivered right to your smartphone. To join, text JOIN to 1-315-898-1449. Please include your name in the text message. You will receive a call to verify your request. I'm your reporter, DKS, signing off for DGHradio.com. Remember, DKS and DGH, together we dream kindly, speak deeply, and give hope, because on DGHradio.com, the news never sleeps. Goodbye for now. Ciao.